Warning: the material discussed in this show may be sensitive or a trigger for some listeners. Strong language and topics are discussed. You have been warned.
The Bipolar DM, Jason Cottam. His show talks about Dungeons and Dragons, indie writing, and living with a mental illness, in particular bipolar disorder, borderline disorder, and major depression, among other diagnoses. Check us out right here on Saturdays, 7 p.m. Eastern, also on WLFE-DB.com, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. So take a seat, sit back, and get ready for the Bipolar DM.
Welcome to the Bipolar Dm Show, and I am broadcasting live from Camp Arrowhead in Marshfield, Missouri. I'm out camping right now, so I'm doing this off of my phone, so that's why there's no video right now. It's because of that, but we have a great show today, got lined up. I'm so excited. We got T-Roy. He's going to be one of our friends of the show is going to be on, and we're going to be discussing dating, relationships, and mental illness. And now, of course, T-Roy's been in a relationship for 15 years. So as far as dating goes, yeah, he's not a subject matter expert, but he is a subject matter expert on relationships when it comes to relationships and mental illness. Now, I've been dating for the last 6 years, and it sucks. And dating with a mental illness is no bueno. It's just no fun at all. Um, Really, the hardest thing about dating with a mental illness is when to tell. That's probably been one of the hardest things is to know when to tell the person that you're dating that you have a mental illness and kind of prepare for yourself for what might happen afterwards, whether they break up with you, they ghost you, or things go forward. It really kind of depends on the individual. And I found personally that I try and tell the person I'm with early on that I have a mental illness really from the beginning because I'm just very open about it. And I don't have any qualms about discussing my mental illness with people. And no, that's not necessarily something I bring up on a first date, but it comes up pretty early, not in the relationship, but in the dating process when I talk about it. And there are really ways that if you're in the situation that I'm in and you want to know how to breach the subject of mental illness with the person that you're with, um, start off with talking about what's going on in the news. And I don't mean the negative stuff. No, by God, by all means, by God, no, don't talk about shootings and stuff like that in mental illness. No, talk about something positive in mental illness. Like recently, like the Colts, the football team, the Colts have recently started a campaign called "Kick the Stigma," in which several players who admittedly have a mental illness that are on the team have come forward and are doing a program in which they want to end the stigma of mental illness. Having a story like that and introducing the topic of mental illness helps out a lot when you're discussing it with your potential partner. And bringing it up in a positive light helps a lot too. You certainly don't want to talk about the latest shooting and mental illness because then the person that you're with is probably going to be wondering when you're going to flip out and go out to a FedEx or someplace like that with a gun. So, you know, um, be mindful about, how you broach the topic. You want to do it in a positive light, in a positive manner. And, when to tell, that really comes up to you, in your personal comfort. Like I said, I pretty much tell right off the bat that I have a mental illness because I just don't have the time to waste on somebody if they're not going to appreciate me and want to have anything to do with me because I have a mental illness. My mental illness, although it's part of my life, it does not define who I am. I may have bipolar, but I am not bipolar. That's not my definition of who I am. And so don't let don't let your mental illness be a label upon you. It's something that you have and something that's part of you, but it does not have to be ruling your life, and it does not have to dictate who you date and who you don't date. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and do one real quick introduction before I bring T Roy on. I kind of skipped over it in my excitement of getting this show off, and that is welcome to the Bipolar DM Show. This is a show about indie writing, Dungeons and Dragons, and living with a mental illness, in particular bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, and major depression, among other diagnoses. If you want to reach me, you can email me at thebipolardm@gmail.com or visit my webpage, thebipolardm.com. There you'll find previous episodes of this podcast, my blog, as well as resources on indie writing, Dungeons and Dragons, and mental illness. All right, let's go ahead and bring T Roy on. And there we go. Oh, hey, how's it going? Add to stream.
Hey, hey, hey.
All
Hello.
right. Turn off. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, can you hear me? Oh, good.
Yes, can you hear
I
me?
am doing awesome. Getting ready to get the hell out of the woods and go take a hot shower.
I bet.
So, well, you've been in a relationship for about 15 plus years, and now when you first were dating your spouse, Kevin, how did you know you had bipolar at that time, or were you diagnosed after you were started dating, where you were together?
I was actually diagnosed with it after we got together.
Okay. So your situation will be a little bit different in that, you didn't know you had this before then, but now, it came out and you guys rolled with it,
Mhm.
and everything.
Yes.
Um, what are some of the keys to having a successful relationship? I mean, 15 years is a good long stretch so far, nowadays. I mean, back in the day, back in the 40s and 50s, that'd be nothing. But 15 years nowadays is a good stretch. So, what is some of the keys that you have to maintaining a relationship with bipolar?
Well, I have found that when you communicate with each other, it really helps a lot. And also take some time out for not only yourself, but your spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever. And, just really listen to either each other, talk to each other, take some time, don't rush things whenever you enter together, really enjoy each other and spend as much time as you can with each other because I cannot stand being away from Kevin whenever he's not around. I hate it.
Right.
But we can't be around each other 24/7, but I have always been a stickler on taking that time to not let the world and life pass us by in our
Mm,
marriage relationship. So I definitely make sure that we have that time together. And, people that usually work, I haven't worked in some years now. And usually we got to like understand where they're coming from as well whenever we're together with somebody that isn't bipolar or don't have bipolar symptoms or anything like that, side effects, and
right.
understanding them, as well as them understanding us, at the same time.
Yeah, we forget so often in the other half of the relationship, the other half of the equation. And that's one show I really want to do. And we've talked about this backstage and talked with Kevin about it too. And that is, what is it like for the person who does not have bipolar to deal with somebody like us?
Right.
How do they handle it? How do they put up with us? Because I mean, I know I can be a real bastard sometimes, and
Oh yeah, I
not
can
meaning
definitely
to,
be an
but
M. Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
at that moment in time, whenever that stuff is happening, I really don't mean to either. I don't even know what I'm saying or doing sometimes because I get so stressed out and everything starts kicking in, and I blurt shit out and I don't even realize that I'm blurting it out until it's already out, and then I'm
Yeah.
told whatever, and I'm like, oh my god, what? Really? I'm so sorry. I had no
Yeah.
idea. It's like
I can't believe
crazy.
I said that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that happens to me too, where shit will come out of my mouth that I don't mean to say.
right.
And yeah, and it's crazy. I hate using that word crazy, but it is.
I know, right? I
Um,
was thinking there's that
because
crazy word.
especially when you don't remember it.
Yeah,
Especially when you don't remember doing it.
yeah.
That's the
Oh, it's
worst,
horrible.
there's all
Yes,
kinds of stuff I don't remember doing,
yes.
and I
Me
feel
too.
so
And there's a
bad
lot of
about.
things that I have said, just to everybody that's close to me. And I hate that too, but they say that it's, you know, everybody, just about everybody does it. You take it out on the ones that you really
Y
love and are there than if somebody else wasn't around and they came around, kind of thing.
Right.
Which I have caught myself, and I've been trying to work on that, with all the ones, and my attitude, and trying to remember and understand myself to where it
Mhm.
is helpful for myself, because we don't always accept stuff in our minds the same way. And so I have found certain ways to accept that self. Accept that within myself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's helped a
and
lot.
that's kind of a big thing is learning to accept ourselves
Yes.
and forgive ourselves too. That's a
Oh yeah.
huge thing, forgiveness of
And that's
ourselves,
not
because
easy, because I was just thinking about it today. I was like, oh my God, sometimes that happens, and it's like, shit, I shouldn't, I didn't want to say that, or I didn't mean to say that. I didn't, I don't even know where it came from. And then I'm like,
yeah.
we're happening to go beyond that. How do I leave that alone? How do I continue and leave certain things that are really, not really good alone, to where
Yeah.
you can move on. And they say sometimes we just got to overlook it. Sometimes it's hard to forget, but find other things. And even then, I'm an empath, and I literally feel all kinds of stuff all the time, so I
Yes.
take it in a lot stronger than most everybody else, kind of thing. So it sticks with me. I'll forget it for, like, it could be days, it could be months, it could be weeks, it could be years. And then out of nowhere, like, whatever pops into my head and it's not good. And it's like, oh shit,
Yes.
and then I have to go through the whole, like, movement again of within myself, how I'm feeling, you know, the nerves, just,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, that's crazy,
yeah, that's the
like, I
thing.
don't even know. We've already,
Yeah, that's the thing
took
about
care of
it.
this years ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and that's the thing about it, with bipolar, is that we bring shit up from the past all the time, whether it's a
yeah,
day ago, a week ago, a year ago,
yeah,
several years ago,
mhm,
and we relive it. That's what the
yeah,
young people don't realize, is that we don't just remember it, we relive
right.
it as if we were
We do.
there
And it's
experiencing it
so,
for the first time,
yes,
and it sucks having to go through those, dealing with that emotions again, the raw emotions and stuff.
yes,
And that's why we lash out, is because we're in so much pain and torment
right,
from our past and things that happen that pop into our head, and then we lash out. And then
right,
unfortunately, the ones we love are the ones that are hurt.
yeah,
And that kind of leads right into my next thing. We talked about communication. Communication, huge, huge in any relationship, but
yeah,
most especially with those with mental illness, but
yes.
also education.
Hmm.
What did you and Kevin do to educate yourselves on bipolar?
Well, I've been to many therapists, and I've been
Hmm.
to a handful of psychiatrists, and so they've hopped me around to where I have heard crap so much repeatedly, it's bestowed in my brain, and
Mhm.
which kind of helps a lot of on certain things,
Yeah.
because if you want something that is there and it takes place of whatever, then that's good. So I try to stay busy,
Yeah.
and just try to accept it as it is. It is what it is, but it's not who I am. So
Yes. Yeah, and with the internet nowadays, it's so much
yeah.
easier to find out, like WebMD and sites
Oh
like
yeah,
that, for finding out what is bipolar, what is depression, what is borderline, what
yeah,
is, mental illness.
yeah.
And
Because there's
so
different stages of just
really
about
there's
all
little
of it.
excuse to be ignorant.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's little excuse to be ignorant about mental illness nowadays with the
yes.
internet. Now, I'm not saying that everything on the internet's correct. I mean, there's a lot of crap on there that's really incorrect.
Oh
So you have to
yeah,
be very careful on
totally.
what you take in.
Yeah.
But, education though, understanding the mood swings, that why they come about and how they happen, understanding the depression, understanding what it is that goes in our heads and what we
Yeah.
deal with, helps the partner so much in understanding why, if we're
Hmm.
in a pissy mood, why we just want to be held. And
Right.
that's it. Don't
Absolutely.
don't talk to me. Don't do
Yep.
anything else. Just hold me. That's all I
Yeah.
want.
Yep.
And it's very hard for people to understand that that's really all we need.
Yeah. I mean, really, at
That
that
right
moment in
there.
time, yeah, because just about anything they're gonna say or do is gonna not probably be right, even though it is, and it is how you
Yeah.
should be with somebody, But during that process, it's like we're totally the opposite, and yeah, I just want to be held. I just want to be told everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Calm down, breathe. Let's go for a walk outside to the creek, out in the woods, play in the dirt. Get out in the yard, mess around with our pets. Just whatever
Yeah.
can for the other person that is going through that. Do it at that moment in time without possibly saying too much, because I have noticed a lot of people with PTSD or bipolar or depression, they jump back and forth on whenever it's words,
Hmm.
and it's not easy to accept and understand what those words are. So that kind of makes us feel a certain way to where it just doesn't help. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I came across an article just today about 10 things not to say to somebody with bipolar. And I'm like looking at that list, and I'm like, yep. One of them is, you sound depressed today. That's
Yeah,
like one of the number one things you don't say to somebody. I don't need anybody to tell me how I feel. I don't need
exactly.
somebody to give me a mental checkup. What I need is
Right?
somebody saying, you sound down. What can I do to help? Or
Or, hey,
something
what's
similar to
up?
those lines. Yeah, is there anything I can do to help out? Or can I
Yeah.
listen? That kind
Yep.
of stuff. I don't need a parapsychologist telling me, I don't feel good,
Right.
because I don't need them to tell me that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, the third thing I came up with keys to a successful relationship with mental illness, the third thing is patience and understanding. Oh boy, patience is a huge one, especially on both sides
Huge.
of the equation,
Huge.
both
It
with the
doesn't matter who
bipolar
you
and
are or
with the
how you
normal
are, but
person.
yeah, patience is like, it's a big key in a friendship, a marriage, just whatever it is. Patience. It takes patience. It takes time and understanding and acceptance.
Yep. Let's go ahead. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then we'll pick right back up with T. Roy and discussing relationships and mental illness.
2021 just got better. Your favorite shows from WLFE DB Radio can now be found on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Yes, we now video stream to both of those platforms. Search for your favorite shows like Where's My Sage, Inside the Drag Closet, Across the Pond, Everything Yet Nothing, Paratalk Radio, Step into the Paranormal, The Creepy Parlor, Just Cindy, and more. Now you won't miss an episode. Remember, follow Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Make sure you subscribe and follow your favorite WLFE DB radio shows. This award-winning thriller has it all. Murder, political intrigue, mob revenge, and a bit of romance. Not to mention strong female and male characters with a storyline that could be tomorrow's headline news. Now for a quick peek into our story. To help solving a nationwide plot involving the assassination of several U.S. senators, the O'Rourke team is called in. To complicate matters, they now have to work against the clock to rescue one of their own. You see, the mob didn't take too kindly to the O'Rourke team's involvement last spring. It seems to have led to the indictment of their boss. Will they succeed? Oh yeah, life just got sweeter now that WLFE DB has merchandise. Show your support by purchasing your t-shirts for WLFE, Paratalk Radio, Inside the Drag Closet, and more. But it doesn't stop there. T-shirts, coffee mugs, tanks, buttons, cloth bags, and more. Go to WLFE-DB.com. On the top bar, click on the merchandise tab and bam! There you go. You got merch. Support the shows. WLFE-DB.com. You're listening to WLFE DB Radio. Now back to our program.
Welcome back. I'm the Bipolar DM, and I have with me T. Roy from Everything Yet Nothing, and we are discussing relationships and mental illness. Now, let's go back into. Well, we're going to go into a little bit on the dating side now. Unfortunately, you haven't had much experience dating in the last 15 years, so we're not. So I'm not going to tap your brain on that. But you do have some memories about what it was like back in the day trying to date. And one of the things that kind of a recent trend is ghosting. And now, before you and Kevin had gotten together, have you ever been ghosted? And that's where, for those of you who don't understand what ghosting is, that's basically where the person breaks off all communication whatsoever. No text, no phone calls, nothing like that. No explanation. They just fall off the map.
Yeah, and it really sucks to whenever that happens, I'm like, really, dude? Just tell me something, you're not into me or whatever. Don't just leave somebody hanging. I found it to be really rude, and it would piss me off. And I'm all like, instead of just not liking the person, I just really wouldn't like the person. And that's, there's other ways of doing
totally
things.
Lose respect.
Yeah, communicating is 100. I mean, come on now. Give somebody a break. Let them know what's up so they can at least work on that or try to fix it or something.
Yeah, I mean, I was seeing somebody for about a week, and then all of a sudden she just ghosted me for no reason whatsoever. We didn't fight. We didn't have any problems whatsoever. And so I have no idea what the hell happened.
Yeah.
Or what
and
pissed
so
her off,
Yeah, you're just lost in thought,
And if I don't know and I've told her. Yeah, and I flat out have told her before, if I ever do or say anything that's going to make you upset, let me know, because I don't know, because of my illness, because of how I grew up. I don't know sometimes better.
Mm-hmm.
But, it really ticks me off. But on the flip side, the same day I realized I got ghosted and accepted I got ghosted, I reconnected with somebody that I hadn't talked to in 25 years.
Oh,
And we
wow.
used to date. And it was amazing that kind of where you go from, and it's like bipolar,
Yes.
going from one extreme all the way to the other.
Totally.
So, my security alarm's going off like crazy. It looks like my son's home. Uh, oh wait, power outage. Hey, you guys got storms in your area?
No. We've had rain, but that's it.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Everybody hold on just
So today on Jason's show,
sorry to do two things. You'll hear me.
you're good. You're like breaking in and out, like totally.
Trying to
So have
do.
you? Go ahead.
Hold on. All right, I'm gonna go to commercial real quick and then try care of this.
Okay.
Quick commercial. Sorry, everybody. I just got to take care of my security system.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
WLFE Digital Broadcast Network is on TV. You can watch all of our shows on WLFE-DB.com. Check out our channels. Paranormal View for all of your paranormal type shows. LGBTQ Friends for all of our LGBTQ shows. Variety Unlimited for all other shows. It runs 24/7 right on WLFE-DB.com. You'll even catch the lives, all in one place. Never miss an episode, past or future. WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows. Search for your favorite shows like Where's My Sage, Inside the Drag Closet, Across the Pond, Everything Yet Nothing, Paratalk Radio, Step into the Paranormal, The Creepy Parlor, Just Cindy, and more. Now you won't miss an episode. Remember, follow Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Make sure you subscribe and follow your favorite WLFE-DB radio shows. You can find our shows where you listen to your favorite podcasts, like Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and more. WLFE-DB Radio is looking for podcasts to join our family. You don't have to fit any strict genre. We're a plethora of shows. If you're looking to jump on a growing network, then contact us at WLFEDBradio@gmail.com.
Wow, Amazon Music just got a whole lot better. Your favorite shows from WLFE-DB Radio can now be found there. Yes, we are on Amazon Music, found under podcasts. Download the app, find podcasts, and search all of your favorite shows. Shows like Where's My Sage? Across the Pond, Everything Yet Nothing, Skeptical Help Bar, The Creepy Parlor, Just Cindy, and much more. Now you don't have to miss an episode ever. Amazon Music is WLFE-DB radiofied.
More from WLFE-DB Radio Network after this.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Bree, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area, 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.
Oh, yeah. Life just got sweeter now that WLFE DB has merchandise. Show your support by purchasing your t-shirts for WLFE, Paratalk Radio, Inside the Drag Closet, and more. But it doesn't stop there. T-shirts, coffee mugs, tanks, buttons, cloth bags, and more. Go to WLFE-DB.com. On the top bar, click on the merchandise tab, and bam, there you go. You got merch. Support the shows. WLFE-DB.com. You're listening to WLFE DB Radio. Now, back to our program.
Hello.
Okay, got that taken care of.
Awesome.
Hello. All right, so that was. Don't know why my son did not turn off the security alarm. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that, but I got that taken care of. Love modern
that's good.
technology.
Oh, yes.
So we talked about ghosting. Now let's
Yes.
talk about breakups. We handle breakups differently than most people because of rumination, because we dwell on everything
Mhm.
at once when we break up with somebody. And what are some things that has helped you in the past go through a breakup?
Well, I tried to tell myself that I needed a wall put up after a while because it would hurt, and I was like, I got to do something because I shouldn't feel like this. And so I tried to start looking at certain things in a different light than what that other person was looking at that moment in time. Because, like I said earlier, we all have different minds. We think differently. So I would definitely do that, and it helped tremendously. Are you still there? We have lost him, I believe. So he should be popping back on here in a second. There he is. Well, trying to anyways. Ha!
Yeah. Sorry, we dropped off for a second there. Hold on. Yeah, we had a little technical difficulty.
Yay. Gotta love
We're
it.
back
I
and
know.
running again. Okay. Yeah. I know. Especially doing this out in the field, man, with only 2 bars. Yeah. So I had to
Yeah.
cut the video out on my end so that we could at least have a decent program.
Yeah.
Keeping things in perspective is very important, and reminding yourself that it does get better. That is
Yes.
a big thing, is to, reminding yourself that it will get better.
Mhm.
It'll take time, it'll take distance, but eventually it does get better.
It does get better, and you really got to teach and train yourself to accept that and make it a better change within yourself when something like that happens. Teach yourself to take it in a different way.
Yeah, and that leads right into my next point, which is learn what you can from the relationship. We can always learn something, whether it's because we gave too much of ourselves or didn't give enough, or we opened up too much when we should have
Yeah.
not been so open.
All right.
There's so many things to take away from a relationship and breakup, that when you have perspective and time and distance, examine the relationship and really look at what was wrong with it, and also not only what was right with it, but also what was wrong with it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And, really teach yourself on that, because I think a lot of people overlook, that for some reason. And that's also another thing that we have taught ourselves within our marriage, and even a relationship before our marriage, was, we lived together for a year. Yeah, it was quick. But, we gave ourselves whatever amount of time, and we taught ourselves certain things about ourselves, and that's when we learned that maybe we could, it would work out, because then we lived with each other and we didn't have no strings attached, really majorly, and you know all that. So we just, take it slow, take patience, learn from each other. You will learn from each other every day that you are together. You will learn something different every day and probably not even know that you're learning
That's true. Let's see. And let's see. With the distance and time, we learn to move on. And that's kind of the last thing to come across is moving on after a relationship and breakup. And it's so hard for us to do it. I keep saying it's so hard for us. It's so hard for us, but it is. It is
Yeah,
hard for us to get over a breakup. It is hard for us to move on and to learn and to grow forward because we're so focused and live so much in the past that
right.
it's hard to look in the future and see
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
potential. I mean, I
Yeah.
got lucky that I got ghosted by one person and but then reconnected with my first love and but it doesn't always happen that way. I just got
Right.
lucky.
Yeah.
And now that's not saying that anything's going to happen with this relationship or we may only end up just being friends, but the potential's there and
Yeah.
it gives a lot of comfort knowing that there's potential.
Yes. Absolutely. And congratulations. I hope it all goes well. But like you said, even if it's friendship, it's still awesome to get a friend, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, especially one that, from so long ago who
Yeah.
knew me before I had
Especially.
mental illness. That was the other
Yeah.
thing. So we're completely different people, learning each other and everything like that, starting over. We just happen to share a similar past, and it's
Hmm.
kind of nice.
Yeah. And it is kind of nice because you're kind of similar in a certain way of not like everybody else kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I kind of gone through my list of things to talk about. I know one thing's for sure: dating is not easy, especially when you're in your 40s.
Oh
It
yeah,
is it
totally.
is a
I
bitch.
feel for anybody that is dating nowadays because totally different than whenever I was growing up. Totally different. It's like like much harder. And I've noticed from far, I watch my friends that are going through relationships and marriages for a certain period of time, and then they realize that it's just over, and then they go from then there, and it's crazy. But yeah,
Yeah. What was that, Thor?
what
Is that Thor?
Thor? Oh, the dog.
Barking.
Ah, no, it's
Yes.
Atticus. I don't know why he barks, but anytime that I'm in the studio, he starts barking, and I'm like, oh, he knows better than to bark.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the door doesn't even help any.
Yeah. That's all right. I was just wondering who that was. But yeah, dating at 40 sucks. Dating with a mental illness sucks even more because everybody expects you to be. I like the Joker's quote from the movie The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, where let's see if I remember exactly right. The worst part about having a mental illness is everybody expects that you don't.
Yeah, but sometimes I can understand that because we have certain ways of accepting it, working through things, and one of my biggest things throughout my life was any kind of negativity or anything that hurt me as a child growing up, I would suppress it. And so it would be on the inside of me, and I would literally turn that around to show everybody else a totally different me. To where, it's hard for me to live through the things that I've had to go through in my life, and I have hit it for the simple fact that I don't,
Right.
I barely some days can just get out of bed. And I don't want people that know me or care about me or love me or just don't even know me, really, just anybody. I don't want to give that energy out or out there or anything like that. So, I just, I don't show it. I don't let people know that it's like that because I control this, with a smile on my face and just getting out of bed every day and loving life, loving my husband, loving my family, friends, you name it. I just find the love in life and I just hold on to that. And it's helped me tremendously. So find something that you just absolutely love, like, can't live without, and just grasp it every day if it has to be every day for you to get out of bed.
Yes, exactly. That's very important. Hello from Elizabeth saying hello to us.
Hi, Elizabeth.
And yes, and for those of you who are tuning in late, I'm on the line with T. Roy, and we are discussing relationships and mental illness and how to make that work. Because those two things aren't always compatible. Mental illness
Not always.
is very incompatible with a lot of things.
Yes.
And so making it work is so important. All right. And I know we're a little coming a little short on time here because I ran out of material, but thank you so much, T. Roy, for being on. I appreciate you so much.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. I absolutely adore coming on your show. It's just awesome to be on here. So thank you very much for inviting and reaching out.
Yes, and definitely going to have to. We're working on in the future getting Kevin on board, talk
Yes.
about the other half of mental illness, which is the spouse, the loved ones, the caretaker. Yes, and it's so important, Elizabeth, to have somebody by your side that
It is.
but
It is.
through this, because doing this alone sucks. Because I've been doing it alone for 6 years now, and it's
Yeah.
rough. But having
It is
somebody by
very
your
rough.
side and remembering to take care of that person too.
Yeah, like absolutely let that person know how much you care and love and thank them for everything that they do during the moments that you had to go through what you had to go through. Yeah, thank her. Be on her side, give her that love.
Yes, Elizabeth, we will have you on. I'll talk to you at another time about getting you on board too, about talking about this topic. Love to have you. And with that, we're going to go ahead and tie this up just a little early. Just because I want to go take a hot shower and get the hell out of the woods.
I bet, man. Oh, man, I feel for you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, T. Roy. I'm going to go ahead and send you out, and thank you again. All right. This was the Bipolar DM radio show. I am Jason, your host. Thank you so much for listening in. And remember, everybody, if you're on medication, take your meds.
Thank you for listening to the Bipolar DM. They love sharing thoughts and ideas. See you next week, 7 p.m. Saturdays on WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows, and that makes for great talk radio. WLFE Digital Broadcast Network is on TV. You can watch all of our shows on WLFE-DB.com. Check out our channels: Paranormal View for all of your paranormal type shows, LGBTQ Friends for all of our LGBTQ shows, Variety Unlimited for all other shows. It runs 24/7 right on WLFE-DB.com. You'll even catch the lives, all in one place. Never miss an episode, past or future. WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows.